Hello, my name is Anne, and you may have seen the video that is going around on Facebook and every media outlet that I said, where I was saying I was a whore. And so many people have actually asked me if this is true or not. I don't know. Before I answer your question, I would like you to answer these few questions that I have. Why does it trouble you so much that I have slept with that amount of men? Now, if I were a guy who said that, people will actually cheer me on. It wouldn't be a big deal. Now, because I am the one saying it, society has a problem with it automatically. Secondly, I have had over 400 messages from men who want my cookie. Now, I want to ask you a question. Why is it okay, or why do you think it is okay to ask a woman for sex because she's sexually active? Now, do you know that I can be sexually active and choose not to have sex with you? Do you know that I can be sexually active and have just one partner? Do you also know that I can talk about sex from now to tomorrow, but I'm actually asexual? You don't really know. So before you start making demands from a woman regarding sex, you should have your facts straight. There were other people who asked me, or who told me that it would be very difficult for me to find a husband because I have ruined my reputation. I want to ask you a question. Why are you so bothered about spoiling a reputation that you do not even have? I never knew I had a rep, like you just told me, so I know now that I had a rep, right? So thank you. I think you live your lives in a small box because you're trying not to ruin a reputation that you assume you have, the one that's all in your head. And about the marriage part, do you know that women can actually lead fulfilling lives without getting married? Do you know that marriage is not for everyone? And do you know that most people who go into marriage these days actually do it because the Bible said they should get married, or their pastors told them to get married, or their friends are getting married? They get married for all the wrong reasons, and the marriages crash. So before you start talking to me about marriage, you should ask yourself these questions. Also, do you also know that I may actually get married before you, or I may actually have that dream guy you want before you? Do you actually know that? Do you know? You don't really know. So before you start asking questions about marriage, you should first of all know if I care about it, first of all. To the people who said I was trying to get attention, that I wanted to be a celebrity, do you know that celebrities are human beings? Do you know that your celebrities also have sex? Do you know that some of your celebrities have committed abortions? Do you know that some of your celebrities do not have pleasing sexual lives and they have no one to talk to it about? Do you know that celebrities are human beings and they will die? Because if you know all this, you won't be telling me that I want to be a celebrity, like there's something inside, or there's a special package for them that I'm not seeing yet. Fourthly, why do you feel, or why do you get so angry when someone talks about sex? I don't really understand. It's like the only sex education that people give their children nowadays is abstinence. They will tell you to be a virgin. They will tell you not to have sex. And I'm okay with that. Whatsoever it is you want to do. If you want to be a virgin, fine. If you want to be celibate, fine. If you want to have sex, fine. If you don't want to have sex, fine. But stop telling people that abstinence is the only form of sex education that they need to know. Because if you're telling somebody not to do something, it has been proven scientifically that people will do the things you tell them not to do. That was why Adam ate the freaking apple in the first place, because God told him not to eat it. So he ate it. So if you're telling somebody not to have sex, chances are they will go ahead to have sex. And when they do go out there to have sex, are they equipped with the required skills and knowledge that they should have before they actually go in there? Do you know that so many women find it difficult to say no to sexual advances? Do you know that so many women do not lead pleasing sexual lives? In fact, there was a survey that Durex carried out, and they said that 62% of Nigerian women cheat on their partners because they do not lead satisfying sexual lives. So if you know all this, you will not come to my post to ask me if I am a whore. Now, do you know that because you're so afraid to talk about sex in right ways, your daughters and your sons are going behind your back to have sex without your knowledge, and you're doing it in the wrong way ever? Did that come out right? I guess so. They are doing it in the wrongest way ever. Do you know that 16 million teenagers got pregnant as at 2013, and 89% of those teenagers were unmarried? Do you also know that 30% of those teenagers with unwanted pregnancies had suicidal tendencies? Do you actually know that these figures would have been drastically reduced if we had open, honest conversations about sex without shaming anybody? I am not going to answer the question of if I am a hoe or not, because I do believe that my body count is not your business. Whatever I want to do with my body is not your business. We should face matters that really matter. Talk about things that really matter. Stop telling the woman how to live her life because your pastor told you this is how to do it. I don't need that nonsense right now. Sorry for the N-word. I don't need that nonsense. I don't. Seriously, I don't. Just because you're not familiar with something doesn't mean somebody else is not familiar with it. Just because you're not going through something doesn't mean somebody else is not going through with it. I don't just talk about sex. I talk about sex and relationships and body image, because these are important issues that nobody wants to face, because everybody is busy pretending that they have good sexual lives and their life is so perfect. In fact, there is this one lie that makes me so upset every time. The one where your pastor tells you that once you get married, you would have good sexual lives, you would have the best sex ever. And you know, so many women go into marriages and they regret because that's not what they expected. So if you're telling somebody not to have sex and to have sex, and you should give them the full facts, give them the full details, let them know what they're going into and what they're not going into. I do believe that if we're having honest conversations about sex, unwanted pregnancies, STIs, and HIV transmission would greatly reduce. So stop acting like you're not having sex. It's annoying. So you can call me a whore, a slut, or whatever it is you want to call me. I will talk about what I want to talk about. I will share my experiences. I will learn along the way. And those who want to listen should please listen. If you do not want to listen, no problem. You can block me on Facebook. Don't check my blog. Don't check my channel. And everybody will be happy. So till then, toodaloo. Today is Sunday.